Yeah, hi. Good evening, everyone. Session will start in 2 minutes. And if you have any questions during the session, you just raise your hand. We'll unmute you. You can ask the questions, or else you can type your question in the main chat box. Trainer Param will read the question and answer it. Okay. One moment. I think everybody are using microphones. That's fine. Except Kishore Maineni. Kishore Maineni, I think you are using your telephone. I suggest you to select a radio button in the audio panel, mic and speakers radio button. Kishore Maineni, you select mic and speakers radio button in the audio panel, which is under attendee list, so that you can use your microphone. Yeah, good. So Aditya, Ajay Rastogi, Ajay Sharma, Vikas, Panigrahi, Chaitanya Gatu, Chandrasekhar, Charleson, DV, Ganesh, H. Reddy, Hari Gana, Kalyan Raman, Pardasarathi, Kishore Maineni, Mahesh, Malik, Rajendra, Ravinder, Puljala, Sridhar, Vamshi Joshi, Sridhar Bhupati. Guys, if you have any questions, you just raise your hand. We'll unmute you. You can ask the question. It's an interactive session basically. Okay. Yeah. Param, can you start the session? Thank you very much.
Hello everyone, welcome to the demo on the HANA SP5. I hope the screen is visible to everybody. You can click on the questions for questions, or else you can click on raise hand, or else you can use the chat box to put in your questions or comments. The primary agenda for this demo session is on the overview agenda of the list of topics that we will cover in the training program. We'll try and understand what are the areas where we will explore, what are the areas where we will do the practical sessions together, what are the areas in which we will have certain focus for the exam preparation, the certification exam preparation, and also to look at the other peripheral systems like BOB-J, data services, SLT, and other areas within the HANA system, like administration areas, security authorization areas, and intensive areas of the data modeling, data load management, extraction, creating the reports. Right? So we will have that in a particular list of topics. So we will start. I would like to introduce myself. My name is Param, and I am currently involved in other HANA projects and certified in the SAP BI, BODS, BOB-J 4.0, and SAP HANA. Currently pursuing my PhD in the in-memory technology under SAP University Alliance. Okay, so you will receive the demo slides so that you can refer and keep the list of the topics. So here on the slide number 3, we have laid out the list of all the topics as per the SAP Academy, as per the SAP Education, the list of the topics that are mandatory for the training program. So first one is to have a look on the fundamentals to understand the basic on the HANA appliance components. So you see in lesson number 1, the HANA appliance components. There we will understand what is HANA actually and what are the peripheral components and appliance components that constitute a part of the HANA package, right? And we'll also have a quick overview on the basic, the history, how HANA came into being in terms of a particular columnar database and Sybase acquired by SAP as a company, and then what are the internal technical activities and the process flow that happens within the HANA appliance that makes the HANA so popular in the past year and a half. Right? So when it was released in the later part of 2011. By now we have over 444 customers gone live with HANA. So what makes HANA so popular? What is the technical advantages? What are the customer benefits that the customer gets in implementing HANA? So we will learn about that. Then lesson number 2 is the PAM, the Product Availability Metrics. The PAM will give us the list of all the hardware vendors. The hardware vendors are the SAP authorized vendors that will do the installation of the enterprise server of HANA. Right? So it's not like we want HANA, so we're just going to do it ourselves. It's not like that. So it has to come through a certified hardware vendor like HP or Fujitsu or Cisco or IBM or Dell or Hitachi or even NEC or recently VMware also. So these are the 8 authorized hardware vendors. So we will learn about that in the lesson number 2 to give us a proper foundation. Then lesson number 3 is all about the architecture. The architecture will help us understand the process flow, the step-by-step. How does it start? Where that it gets transformed? What are the business rules? What are the data modeling areas? What are the security authorization, reporting areas, and all of that. So we will look at the architecture from multiple angles. Next, lesson number 4 is the landscaping. This is important for solution architects. Right. So we may be an SAP consultant. We may be a non-SAP business analyst. We may be coming in from a project management perspective. We may be coming in from a solution architect or an administrator perspective. So the landscaping option will give us detailed information on how to create, build, or renovate an existing infrastructure. Right? So you have a dev environment, you have a testing environment, you have a production environment, right? So how do we introduce HANA if it is an enterprise HANA? How do you introduce HANA if it is a native HANA? Right? So there are multiple use cases of HANA that we will learn, and we will understand how to create that kind of landscape. So customer may be using a non-SAP solution. So how do you connect? How do you build? How do you introduce? And how do you renovate? Customer may be using a combination of SAP CRM plus a big data, Teradata CRM. So how do you propose HANA in those cases? Right? So lesson number 4 will start to give us more insights on how do you actually perform certain activities in live projects. Then number 5 is the sizing guideline. This is going to give us a whole new perspective on the different server sizes. Right. So HANA does not come in a particular size. It comes in multiple T-shirt based sizes like extra small system, small, medium, large, extra large, like that kind of a different t-shirt-based server sizes? What is the price? What is the initial input cost from a customer perspective? What are the configuration of these servers? When do we go for a medium server, or else when do we go for a large server, or when do we go for an extra small server? Right? So there are certain questions that we need to understand first before we implement HANA. Right? So that's given in number 5. Number 6 is the data provisioning overview. Now from here onwards, we will start to have a system access. Right? Everybody will receive your individual system access as a remote computer. And over there, all the HANA, BOBJ, BODS, SLT, SAP Visual Intelligence, the source system of the SAP, ECC, PW on HANA, everything is installed in that remote computer. So you just have to log in using the internet. Wherever you are, you can connect to that remote computer. Now, once you have a remote computer access, you will have certain system access that is needed for this training program. And the first one is part of lesson number 6, where we need to log in into the data services, right? The business objects data services. So we will have certain practical sessions over here to try and understand the data services process flow. When do we go for data services? What if we have to do certain transformation activities in the data services? How do you connect a non-SAP or an SAP to a data services? Right? So we will do a practical session here. This is data provisioning. Data provisioning means data loading from multiple sources. It could be a structured or unstructured sources. It could be a DBMS and RDBMS. It could be an SAP or a non-SAP system. Or else it could be a simple Excel file that you want to load. All right? So we will practice, we will learn this new tool called the BOBJ Data Services. And then you have SLT, the SAP Landscape Transformation. Now this is an embedded replicator for HANA. So whenever we go by HANA, we implement HANA, the SLT, the SAP Landscape Transformation, is already part of it. Right? So again, over here we will log in into the system, we will understand the SLT architecture, we'll understand how it works, we'll understand how to do a live replication from the source to HANA. Okay. So once we're done with the data loads, we will try and focus on lesson number 7, where it becomes even more intensive in terms of practical, in terms of hands-on, in terms of getting certain experience on the sequence of steps that are needed for creating data models. Right. So we have decided to have a project for the batch, and then the project will give us a kind of a whole new perspective, not just learning the theoretical and fundamental, but also to have a project experience out of this training program. So I will walk you through with the project steps once we start the training, and then we will take up the different list of the topics also. Now during the training program, we will also highlight you what are the areas which are very commonly part of the training, part of the certification and the interview process. So I will also highlight that part. Okay. So moving over to the next slide. Right. So here on the next slide, you're looking at lesson number 8, 9, 10, and 11 advanced topics and 12. So these are the other part of the training. So the other part will cover the reporting, right? So once we're done with data loading and data modeling, performing different attribute views, analytic views, calculation views, or transports, or multilingual support, technical design documentation to be automatically created by HANA. There are a lot of other micro features that we will experience one by one. So once we're through with number 7, in number 8, we start looking out of HANA to connect the other reporting tools from Bob J, or even a generic Microsoft Excel or MicroStrategy or IBM Cognos to perform reporting. Right? So which tool to use for what kind of reporting requirement? Right? So you have multiple reporting tools like Crystal Reports or Bob J Explorer, SAP Visual Intelligence, or simple Excel file, or dashboards. So which tool is used for which scenarios? We'll learn about that, and then we'll learn about the client connectivity options. And then later, we will log into these reporting tools and create reports on the HANA models, part of the project. Okay. Then number 9, we will look at the system administration perspective, which is going to give us a lot of administrative skill set. So learning HANA does not mean that learning only just data model or performing kind of a data analyst or data scientist activities. It's a lot more. It's a lot more in terms of business consulting, administration skills, security authorization, transports, data modeling, reporting, and even project management. So this is one part of it, the administration. So what if we are required to do a certain upgrade of support pack on the studio? What if we need to do a backup and recovery? How do you diagnose the system? Right? So there are multiple areas on the administration perspective, so we will also have a look at that. Then number 10 is, again, we will have a practical session on lesson number 10, the security authorization. This is going to give us the knowledge on how to create multiple users. There are 4 types of users in HANA. So which user are we going to use? Which user are we going to propose for a customer, for a technical consultant, for a business analyst, for Bob J reporting, for single sign-on users? So we will create those users. We will assign multiple roles to those users. In those roles, we will grant multiple security authorization objects. Right? So we will have a separate dedicated session on this, and then we will practice. And starting that point, we will also try to add that user on the HANA system, right, to the multiple activities that we'll do together. Again, part of the project. Now, finally, once we are through with all the project activities, our hands-on experience, then we move over to the advanced topics. This is going to give us a whole new perspective on what's happening around in the business environment right now. So first thing first is the profitability analysis. This is important. Any customer implementing HANA will always want to find the financial status of their enterprise. Either it is the input costs, or is it profitability, or is it the revenue, or any other contribution margins. Right? So they would just want to find the profitability analysis with the expenses, actual versus planned, and all of that. So we will do a quick case study there. Then the next point is the solution manager. Now these advanced topics are not part of the SAP education. We have added it because we have experienced that during the real projects, we as HANA consultants or HANA system administrators or HANA architects or HANA business analysts or even project managers need to have these additional skill sets in real-time projects. Okay, so the second 11.2 is the solution manager for HANA. This is important. Basically, if you are a HANA consultant, you have to work on solution manager. Therefore, we need to know what is solution manager, what are the offerings of this whole man, and what are the areas that we need to work in terms of project blueprinting phase or realization phase or testing phase or go live phase or support phase, all of that. Okay, so this is very important. Then 11.3. This is very common nowadays, where the SAP customer installation base, having a business warehouse of the SAP, will like to accelerate their business warehouse with HANA. So we will learn about this. This is a BW powered by HANA. We will learn that. And then we have also added the BPC powered by BW powered by HANA. So we will learn those advanced topics later. Then the RDS will provide the customer to kickstart the implementation immediately, because the RDS, which stands for the Rapid Deployment Solutions, are built in business packages, and it spreads across multiple industries, segments, sectors, and line of business. So customers say, maybe I'm coming in from a telecom industry background, or else I may be coming in from a manufacturing background. What do HANA have to offer for me if I need to immediately take benefits of the HANA appliance, right? So you have certain business contents already created, and they are called as rapid deployment solutions, right? We will learn those advanced topics later. Then DXC, the direct extractor connection. This is going to help us connect to the SAP Business Suite. Then the visual intelligence. This is very recently launched tool, and is going to help us to do a lot of visualization and reduce the input costs from a customer spending perspective. So customer might have to go for the entire BobJ package. Rather than that, customer can go with a single SAP VI to just do visualization, dashboarding, and even information discovery. Right? So this is here. Then finally, number 12 is the final preparation for everybody to help you in your interviews and certification exams. Right? So we will have certain kind of a mock test in which you will have certain questions, and you got to answer those questions, and then we will discuss on how the different certification programs and what are the different interview questions, what are the different consulting questions, and all of that we will discuss in number 12. Okay, so that's the layout on the list of the topics. And in this training program, we will also discuss about other current activities that are happening in the industry, current activities in terms of project management, in terms of project technical documentation, in terms of the user authorization metrics, right? So all of that needs to be learned before we enter the HANA implementation projects, right? It's not just certification, it's just not just plain training, but it's experience that really matters and counts when we go out to work on HANA implementation projects. Okay, so we will cover all of this. Then I have the architecture over here for you, and this is going to give us the different layers of the architecture. Now, if we look at the architecture from the bottom-up approach, I'm just going to use the highlighter again here. So, just a moment. Yep. So here it is. Drawing in from the left-hand side, the last layer is the source system layer. Okay. So source system could be SAP or any other non-SAP. It does not really matter for HANA. HANA can extract, connect data from multiple sources at the same time. It could be a structured, unstructured. It could be other RDBMS. It could be other SAP or non-SAP systems. Right? It can connect and extract. So that's the source system layer. Just above that is the extraction layer. There you have certain extractors, and these extractors are SAP authorized extractors. Right? So we have a lot of other ETL extractors in the business environment, but we are only going to use the SAP approved because these extractors support a real-time replication services. So real-time replication services are really important in getting the objective of the HANA implementation, because it's going to give us the real-time change from the source whenever it is committed or saved in that application. So we get it in HANA, right? So you have SLT, you have data services, you have DXC. Right? So these are the multiple extractors that are available. So that's the extraction layer. The third layer is the data processing layer. So once the data is extracted, is transformed, and it's now arrived into the HANA database system, so what do we do with that? We have certain processes that we need to run, getting aligned with the business rules, right? So you have certain actual data that you want to run through a certain contribution margin, or you want to derive a net revenue from a gross revenue, certain basic calculations, right? So we have that particular calculation engine. And then there is a planning engine. What if we want to do a kind of a demand plan, or production plan, or a sales plan, or financial plan? All of that, you have a planning engine together. So it's a calculation and planning engine here in the IMCE, the in-memory computing engine. So this is the main component that drives the HANA system on the real time. Okay? We will learn in more details once we start up the training program. The other box, the other component that you see to the right-hand side is the row and column storage. This is the real-time area where on the runtime, the line item details are computed, compiled in the row store, and the summarized details are compiled and computed in the column store. This is just to arrange and organize how the data is stored in the system. Okay, so this is here. So that's data processing layer, and then data modeling layer just above that. The data modeling layer is going to be achieved with the help of something called as HANA Studio. Right? So the HANA Studio is the interface that allows the developers, that allows the data modeling consultants, or that allows the business analyst or the user of HANA to create data models. Now, when we say data models, we always have to connect with the business operational model. Say, for example, the sales scenario or a financial scenario, irrespective of the SAP or non-SAP. It doesn't really matter over here. What matters is the business scenarios, the business processes, buy and sell, subcontracting, or particular supply chain management, or particular sales or procurement or logistics or transport, all of that. So it is important that we know the business process. So therefore, in the training program, we have a particular project in which we will understand the business process, we'll understand the business scope, the environment, and then we will start implementing that activity in the system with the hands-on together. So we will use HANA Studio to create multiple data models, master data models, transactional data models, calculation data models together, and then we will consume those in the final layer that is on the top, the presentation layer. So the presentation layer is basically a reporting layer where we consume, we do a certain information discovery or else information delivery. Information delivery is, here you go, this is your daily sales report. That's information delivery. But information discovery is something else that HANA provides. Right? So we will learn in further details as we proceed with multiple topics. Okay? So this is a quick overview on the architecture. Just to quickly remind or revise, you have a source system layer, then you have an extraction layer, data processing layer, a design layer, and then a presentation layer. Okay? So this is the overall process flow. We will also learn the other use cases of HANA, like native HANA, enterprise HANA, or even HANA on the cloud. Right? Irrespective of those use cases, the architecture will remain the same. Okay. Now, I move over to the next slide where you have a quick screenshot of the HANA Studio. Of course, we will log in and then we will see that. There's the screenshots. And then the next one is the data modeling screenshot. So we first have to understand the business processes or business scenarios, and then we will implement by creating these data models. So we can create it from the scratch, or else we can use the rapid deployment solutions, the predefined and pre-configured business models from the RDS, right? Depending upon the scenarios. Now, all of these HANA data modelings are kind of a graphical activity, meaning we just have to drag, drop, and then deploy it. That's it. You drag it, you connect it, you activate it, you're ready to deploy those data models. Meaning we have less kind of a programming. So it's a kind of a very sleek tool. You just have to drag, drop, and then you are good to go. But there is also a provision for programming perspective in terms of customization. What if the customer needs to do a certain logic in the data models, right? There is a provision for the SQL programmers that we will learn later. Right? But majority of the implementations, majority of all the developments are done graphically. So for each of those objects, each of those information model components, you will be having the guideline, meaning the step-by-step, the sequence of activities that you need to do in order to successfully create your data modeling objects and then use that in the other areas of reporting or security or transports. Right? So you will have certain SAP standard training materials, plus you will have other training materials that you will get to download to proceed and then to perform your practical sessions. Okay. Now, once the data models are done creating, you also have a provision to quickly preview the data sets. Right? So what if I got a gross revenue, a net revenue, and then I want to just find out the contribution margin of that particular company code or plant or the financial year, for example. So the data preview option is already embedded in the HANA Studio. So it provides the user to see the data model before consuming that in the reporting layer, outside of HANA, basically. So that's here. Then the transports of the objects from one system to the other system, we will also do a hands-on practice in our training environment. You will also receive certain customer testimonials to help build confidence to yourself that these customers have actually gone live and they had certain customer stories. Before HANA, that was the scenario. Now after HANA, this is what we have in terms of performance acceleration, in terms of business value addition, in terms of the return on investment, etc. So the list here are the initial customers that gone live in 2011. Then in the beginning of 2012, you have additional customers gone live, and you have initial customers going to the next phase of the project. Right? So there are different phases of HANA project. You start with renovation, then we go to the innovation, and then we go to the transformation. These are the three major functional steps for a HANA project. Right? We will discuss it further in the training program later. So, and then you have over 400 new customers globally going live on HANA. So the current environment is that all the companies are going into the big data space. So big data is a kind of a new space created for the analytics team, for the BI team, for the business user team, even for the technical teams, SAP, non-SAP, to merge all the other mainframe systems or .NET systems or non-SAP systems or structured or unstructured systems together into one. Okay, so that one system is the big data system, and HANA is the leader in that big data space. That's because HANA has RDS, all the other big data providers, like say from Oracle, Exadata, Exalytics, or Teradata, or IBM Netezza. These are the big data systems, but they are empty boxes. But HANA comes along with the business content, right? So, and then moving forward, you have a list of the training documents that will be provided to you, and then you can download these. So the first one is TZ HANA HA100. This is going to give you the basic detail of each and every component of the HANA activity. And TZ200 is further specialization for the system administrators coming in from an DBA background or coming in from the SAP Basis background or SAP System Administrators background. So you guys can specialize on 200. And 300 is for the SAP or non-SAP application consultants. So you can specialize on 300. Right? So I'll give you the guideline how to study, which area to focus, those, right? And then TZBWHA is especially for the SAP BI consultants. Coming in from an SAP BI background, how do you make the BI powered by HANA? What are the internal structural changes? What are the business activities? Is it a disruptive process or a non-disruptive process? All of that is there in TZBWHA. These are all the SAP training, standard training materials from the SAP education. Plus, you have other like SLT technique, how to do it, the business case, security authorization, HANA use cases, RDS, Soulman, certification questions, system administrations. These are additional documents that you will receive in due course of time. Okay. So that's it with the quick slideshow. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the remote computer. So you just have a quick view. Right. So this is the remote computer. You just have to have an internet connection. There is no requirement for anything to be installed on your local laptop or computers. You just need internet. So once you have it, you do a remote computer connection, and then once you are in there, you can go over. Just a moment. So meantime, let me just take up certain questions. Question is, can you share the course contents and topics? Yes, we will be sending it across. Next, yeah, will the presentation file and the video available later? Right, so the organizer is going to send you that. Are all sessions recorded for later use? Yes, they are. But in fact, once you enroll yourself in the training, you will be given the access as an organizer to record the sessions by yourself in the local computer. Right? So you can do a self-recording. Then next question, is there an area or topic to focus for an SAP MDM consultant? Yes, there are certain areas from an MDM perspective. We will learn about that in the training. So the training list of the topics are the basic structure from where we start, from where we begin. But there are other additional areas like GRC, MDM, SCM, or SRM, or CRM, or ERP, or Business Suite on HANA, or SAP Visual Intelligence, or predictive analytics on HANA. There are multiple, right? So we will of course focus over there. Then next question. Are we going to have BW, HANA and BW as well with equal coverage? Yes. So it's not just the HANA system. Right? The BW is a BW system already, but it's going to be replaced, not the BW, but the underlying database of the BW is going to be replaced by HANA database. Right? So we will learn about that. Okay. So BW on HANA or BPC on HANA or a non-SAP third-party tool on HANA, that basically means these application systems need a database, and that database, rather than using a native traditional database, we start using HANA database. Right? So that's the only change. The existing application system will remain the same. The activities, how we do it, all of that will remain the same. Okay. Of course, you will have certain information for supporting those. Next question is, are all sessions going to be the same day? Right, the timelines will be given by the organizers. So we connect. It will be provided by the organizers. Kalyan will update on that. All right. Next question. Also, is SAP BW knowledge required? So it is not mandatory to have BW, because HANA can connect to SAP or even non-SAP. It's not mandatory to even have an SAP knowledge. Right. So we connect to an Oracle system. In certain projects, we connect to other third-party tools like Teradata. We connect to IBM Netezza. We connect to SQL Server. Right. We connect to other .NET applications. So SAP knowledge is not mandatory. But we will cover certain SAP areas also. Next question, how much is the training? All right, the fees. Again, Kalyan will provide you the details. For basis folks, you will also gain certain basis administrative skill sets, starting from the user creation, security authorization, handling the roles, and then performing backup recovery, diagnosing the system, doing the upgrades, performing the installation. So all of that you will have the experience. The training will also cover those areas from the administrative perspective. That's what we've seen in the list of the topic in lesson number 11. Oh, sorry, number 9. Next, right, so traditional databases will be now replaced by the new HANA system, HANA database. So it's a HANA database, but it also provides HANA application services like ECM, EDW, EPM, EIM solutions. Next question, is this course more for BW? Right, so it's for everybody. It's not just only targeted to BW, because the HANA system can run using multiple use cases. So we may have a BW, we may not have a BW in the new implementation projects, right? So it is important that we know the core components of HANA, we know how to work on it, we know the process flow, we know the various activities of HANA, right? So it's not only for the BW consultants. If business analysts or non-SAP folks or system administrators or DBAs, they have participated and they are now certified. So All right. Next question. If HANA has to be used as standalone, all the application has to be built from scratch, like building, okay. But if they can use, right. So these are the additional activities that we will learn, of course. Right. So if HANA has to be standalone, kind of a native HANA, you have RDS components, right? So we can use or reuse those, or else we can have a custom development, starting everything from the scratch. So depending upon the project scope, depending upon the scenario, right, we will have multiple use cases. Okay. Next one is what type of job profiles exist in HANA, right? So you have number one, HANA Business Analyst. So if you are a BA, a business analyst, SAP, non-SAP, you can convert or transform or advance into EBA, Enterprise Business Analyst. That's number one. Number two is if you're an application consultant, then you can become a HANA application consultant. If you're coming in from a DBA or a basis background, then there is a HANA administrator role. If you're coming in from a reporting background, like say BobJ certified in dashboards or BO Explorer or Webby solutions or Crystal reports, right, then you can become a HANA reporting consultant. So there are multiple technical roles available. Of course, in the training, I have a list of all those roles, different project durations, and how much time does it take, what are different technical teams, functional teams that you will come across in the project. Okay. Next, is the existing data replaced if it is a record? Right. So as we will learn in a training program, you will see the future roadmap. Right. So the future roadmap is that traditional systems are replaced by HANA by connecting and then replicating. Okay. You will receive that particular roadmap, which also has different functional, milestones like renovation, innovation, transformation. What happens in renovation? We first replace or connect with the native legacy systems. What happens in innovation? We completely replace by HANA. What happens in transformation? We have certain add-ons on HANA, like data mining on top of HANA, predictive analytics on top of HANA, etc. Right? Next question, the focus of this training is SAP. Right, so the focus of this training is both associate and the technical certification. Right, so we have 100% success rate. Who have our colleagues and participants who got trained here. They're both application certified and technology certified. So that's the first objective of this training program, to help you get certification either as an associate for the application consultants or a technical for the basis of the administrators. And then plus other consulting and then help you interview questions also. Okay, so I'll go back to the system here and I click on Start Programs. This is the usual steps, but here we see the Crystal reports for Enterprise 4. This is part of BobJ 4.0 offering. This is BOBI 4, then Dashboard 4. Okay. And then we will not be using these areas, but we will use the SAP Visual Intelligence. This is very, very interesting tool to run on top of HANA data models. Then you have the entire BobJ platform. This is over here, the CCM for the administrators, the CMC for the BobJ system administrators, and the Launchpad for the application reporting consultants. Right. Then you have other client-based tools like the IDT to create certain HANA relevant universes, the UNX. So that if a customer says, hey, I'm using Microsoft BI, I'm using Oracle DW, or else I'm using Cognos BI, or say SAS BI, or say Excel, but now I have HANA, do I have an option to integrate all of these together and do reporting? The answer is yes, and it's through the IDT here. So the IDT will be created based on a universe, and we integrate, consolidate, bring upon a common semantic business layer on top of HANA for the other non-SAP BI tools to work together, including HANA data models for the business reportings. Okay. Then you have the UDT. This is for the older version of customers who are using the older BOBJ 3X universes. So you have an option to integrate those together. Then the WebI, Web Intelligence. Then this is interesting over here. This is the data services. Here, the data services will help us connect to SAP, non-SAP, any other legacy systems, mainframe, RDBMS, DBMS, all of that, including SAP sources. So it becomes important that all HANA consultants are trained, they're aware of the data services offerings, they're aware of the process flow of the data services, and we should know at least how to use data services from a data loading perspective to HANA. Right? There's a separate certification program for data services, separate certification for BOBJ, okay? But we will cover those critical areas from the HANA perspective. So it's here. If you need documentation, you can click on these and read the documents. And then HANA over here. So let's click open that. Right, so this is a Eclipse-based application. Eclipse is again owned by Apache, and then they collaborated with SAP together to have an interface for the HANA database. So we will be using this particular interface, the HANA Studio, to have our project or a mini project with the training together. So let me quickly walk you through with what's here. The left-hand side is the navigator panel. So over here, you will see the HANA systems that are connected. You may also have multiple users on the same system connected. Then you have catalog, which is going to give us the public tables. Then you have a backup for all the backup files. Then you have a security for security users and roles, and content will have all the packages with the data models. So if we expand one by one, here, catalog will give us all the public information like what's the schema, is it a standard schema or is it an SLT derived schema, all of that. The details will be in here. But before we work on the tool studio, I will walk you through with the terminologies, the features that are in here. Then we come here and then we study the details, and then we keep on exploring to get on the process flow, etc. So that's the catalog folder. It will have public tables, plus it will have other schemas. Schemas are nothing but database folders. And there are 3 types of schemas that we will learn later. And then you have a backup folder, just in case if you have collected a backup file as an administrator, you can put it in here. It could be a complete backup. It could be an incremental backup. It depends, so you can put it in here. Then the third one is a security folder, which is going to give us the users and the roles, whichever are active in the system. You can also create certain roles and assign and create certain users. Of course, we will practice those with the hands-on. Then you have a content folder, which is going to be used as data modeling objects. Okay? So that's the navigator panel. So with the help of the navigator panel, we will navigate and explore and find the objects, work on it. Then below that is the where used list. This is going to give us the area if just in case if we're working on certain objects, maybe used somewhere else, we find it here. Because if you make a change here, it might also change other areas. So the where used list. The properties box, and then this is a quick launch, the main screen. Okay. The further details on these micro links, we will learn step by step once we start. Okay. Then you also have a documentation just in case if you need to refer from a reliable portal of the SAP help.sap.com. This is here, so you can go over HANA. You can go over other areas. If you're new to the SAP, you can find out the SAP Business Suite, SAP for Industries, SAP Best Practices, what's there with the analytics, all of that. Now for the HANA perspective, you see the SP5 details. Our system that we are using is already on SP5, upgraded to the latest support pack to help you understand what's the latest features. So, and then you can even download these PDFs, email it to yourself, and keep it as a reference copy. Right. So these are the additional information. Installation upgrade. So if you're a DBA or a system administrator, you might want to know the installation information, the upgrade information using the unified installer, client installation guide, studio installation guide, data replication, SLT, DXE installation guide, data services, and all of it. Then security. If you're looking at the security as a solution architect, what's there? Okay. Then administration, the TOM, the technical operations manual, then administrator's guide. Then the developers, the application consultants, you have a developer guide over here. Developer references, so multiple formats available. Okay. The end user, if you're an end user as a customer to use all the HANA objects, so you have IC, Information Composer, then you have SAP Visual Intelligence, you have other BOP tools. Right? Then additional information, what's the latest update on the PAM, the product availability metrics. So who are the hardware providers? You have HP, IBM, Fujitsu, Cisco, Dell, Hitachi, NEC, and the VMware. So what are the upgrades that has happened in those servers? What is the file system? What is the operating system change? What are the technical change in terms of the RAM size, in terms of the CPU processor? All of the technical details, you find it here in the PAM. HANA website, HANA 1, central nodes. How do you do the sizing of the HANA server? Okay, so we may be a project manager, or else we may be a sales or a pre-sales support, and then going into the go-to-market strategy, helping the customer understand the HANA sizing area. So you can download these. Okay, there's a quick sizer involved. Okay, and then you have the software download center from the service marketplace, SMP, and of course you had SCM. Right? So the HANA Studio itself will give you the area within the screen to open up the documentation area, and it's not just HANA; it's just other areas that you can explore additional. Okay. So this is a quick interface. We will once again work with other interfaces like BOP Data Services, BI Launchpad, CMC for the administrators, data services for the extractors, reporting tools for the reporting consultants, data modeling areas, and all of it. Okay, so this is the extensive list, right? So to also help you in terms of the previous participants who have enrolled, They got certified. So you can visit the website techietraining.com. Here it is. You can refer the testimonials from our previous participants. Everybody who have enrolled in the training and who have also enrolled in the certification for technical as well as application associate, they got certified. And we have the highest certification in terms of participants scoring 100% in the exams. Okay. So that's about it for the demo. And you can connect back with Kalyan to get the further details.
Yeah, guys, if you have any questions, you can raise your hand. We'll unmute you. You can interact with Param also now. If you have any questions, any more questions, just raise your hand. We'll unmute you. You can ask the question. Yeah, Ajay Sharma, please ask the question.
Yeah, what is the fees for this course?
Yeah, Ajay, the fee and schedules, you just, check your email. We already forwarded to you. And also you call me after this session to 201-478-8484. I repeat, 201-478-8484. I'm just typing this in the chat box. You guys can, you can discuss about the fee, after the session. You can call me anytime. And
okay,
yeah, thank you. Yeah, Sridhar Bhupati.
Yeah, hi, Param. Hi, Kalyan.
Hi.
The question was, I think I asked earlier, but I was not clear on what was responded. So, question was, the SAP HANA and BW, I heard like more customers are preferring to have HANA and BW instead of going for the entire restructuring of their landscape, like, instead of having entire new database set up and new data modeling and everything. So are we going to cover that aspect as well, like SAP HANA and BW, or is it going to be just an overview?
Yeah. So the purpose of the EDW, right? So if you look at it as a functional, so customers who are non-SAP customers do not have an SAP system, right? So they do not have a BW system. So in those cases, we go with an EDW solution for HANA. That's number one. Number two is certain customers who are SAP installation based and they have a BW system. So for those, we go with the BW powered by HANA. Now, there will be a TZBWHA. If you've seen the slideshow, the last slide will give you the list of all the documents. So in there, the TZBWHA will give you the complete end-to-end information for the SAP BI consultant. So what's in here, and then what are the internal structural changes, what we got to do, and then the system access is also going to help you to understand the BW on HANA in more details. Right? So we will cover up those areas in terms of the basic overview. I will help you understand what happens in terms of DB migration. What are the steps required for the BW to be powered by HANA? What are the sequence of the activities that we all need to do? So there is a DB migration first, and there is a BW support pack update to SP5 and the version update to 7.3. Now it's on SP07 on SP07 and then 7.3. So I will help you with those details. And it's an overview, but it will also consist of certain important details.
Thanks, Param. And can I ask another question?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, if you look at the overall customer base, like how much percentage do you see like people who are implementing the entire landscape, like as HANA comes with the inbuilt database and inbuilt member thing? So how many customers are implementing this thing, and how many customers are implementing just SAP as a template or a skeleton on their existing database?
Right. So customers who have globally declared the gone live, they have all declared the complete scale up. So complete scale up means they have renovated their landscape with HANA and they have done a full scale implementation. Now the customer that you see here on the screen are globally gone live customers with a full scale implementation. Plus there are other set of customers who are doing a pilot project, who are doing a proof of concept projects, who are doing a T&D, test and development, just to check out HANA before they do the real end-to-end implementation. So there are over 400 customers who have done an end-to-end renovation, innovation and transformation, end-to-end go live, right? So it's there.
Thanks, Parag.
Yeah, Taha Abbas. Taha Abbas, can you? Yeah, hi.
Yes, I can hear. Hey,
Yeah, yeah.
Kalyan and Farhan. Just a quick question. What is the course duration?
Yeah, duration is 30 hours. We have weekend batch and weekday batch both, and weekday batch will start from tomorrow, and weekend batch will start from the weekend, the Saturday and Sunday. Saturday morning 9 a.m. EST and Saturday evening 9 p.m. EST. The same time Sunday also 9 a.m. EST, 9 p.m. EST. We will be having 4 sessions for the weekend batch, and also for the weekday batch from Monday to Friday. Monday 9 p.m. EST to 11 p.m. EST, Monday to Friday. So whichever is comfortable for you, we can attend the sessions during that period. We have already sent session 1 link to you, all of you guys. You may join that for the weekend batch, also for weekday batch as well. Total duration would be approximately 30 hours total. Yeah, so we will be completing these sessions within 3 weeks.
Okay, great. All right, that was my question. I'm just waiting for the email for the course duration. Once again, if you can just send me an email, that would be easy for me.
Yeah, we already sent the email to you. Just can you please check it if you don't mind. Yeah. Any other questions, Taha?
No, thank you so much.
Yeah, not a problem. Yeah. Kishore, can you ask your question, Kishore?
Yeah, hi Param. So I already have like around 10 years of experience in SAP in different modules like WM, MM and master data migration. Does it make sense to add HANA as an additional skill? Normally, what kind of jobs are offered for experienced SAP consultants in terms of HANA? Is that a requirement as like additional requirement, or is this they ask HANA as a specific requirement?
Right. So HANA has everything for certain areas, like say for example, if you are a WM or MM or say SAP consultant, so it has certain components for you to upgrade your skill set into HANA, because going forward, which has already started last year, 2012, going forward, all the systems will run on real-time systems. And the real-time systems, the leader of the real-time systems is HANA at the moment,
Ganesh.
right now, which is going to go in further. So if you're already experienced in an SAP module, or you're already experienced in other non-SAP modules, it's the right time to advance into HANA, because you will have that as a new technology shift change, rather than using traditional databases which will not retrieve the data if you say, I want to say 10 years of data sets. traditional data set, the databases will not give us those details. There are certain CRC, disk failure, etc., etc. But with the help of HANA, you get those business value addition. So either you're an SAP consultant, or you're a non-SAP consultant, or you're a project manager or an administrator. There is something for everybody. So it's a good thing that you start now and advance into the, yeah.
Any questions, Kishore? Your voice is breaking. Kishore, your voice is totally breaking. Hello, Kishore, your voice is totally breaking. Yeah, DB, you have any questions?
Yeah, hi. My question is, if a customer is on SAP ECC and wants to implement ECC on HANA, would this course cover what kind of effort is needed and what are the pros and cons of it?
Yes, it is already part of the training package. So if a customer is already an SAP ECC installation base, we will replicate it and then we will run it on the HANA database. So it's part of the package, and you will also receive other additional information, which is called as SOH, the Business Suite on HANA, and then other components, which is like the NetWeaver 740 AS ABAP on HANA. So you'll receive additional documents, additional information and guides on those areas.
Okay, thank you.
Chandrasekhar Swaminathan. Chandrasekhar, you have any?
Yeah. You hear me?
Yeah, it's clear.
Yeah, excellent. Now, in continuation to the question that this lady asked just now, you said like SAP ECC on HANA, you will be replicating it. Will both the system will coexist, or you know?
Right. So initially, the 3 phases of the HANA implementation project. So let me open up a notepad here. So you will see the 3 phases, which is renovation. Then you have innovation, and then you have transformation.
Correct.
Right? So in the initial phase, in the renovation, they will coexist.
Okay.
Okay. Then we move over to the next functional milestone, where we have an innovation whereby the entire application will be mounted on top of the HANA database. Once the renovation is done, because customer says, I have 10 years of data, so I need to migrate the entire 10 years of data first into HANA, and then we go into the next phase where I run the application entirely on the HANA database. That is done in innovation phase. Right? Therefore, in the initial stage of the implementation, the renovation, the systems, meaning the legacy systems and the new HANA system, will coexist, and then later on they will merge into one HANA system, and then later on, after they're through with the innovation, go live, they will merge into other data mining tools, predictive analytic tools, etc. So these are the phases of the project implementation.
All right.
Hello?
Any questions, Chandrasekhar? Yeah, Ajay, you can ask the question.
Yeah, basically, I was trying to ask, because this is this particular training is only for SAP HANA, or say, for example, I also want to do some course on BPC, business planning and consolidation.
We have separate batch for BPC, Ajay.
So
this is
will
only for
just,
SAP HANA.
So this is only for SAP HANA, and you will touch base on a very high level on BPC?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, Kalyan, you have any questions? You raise the hand.
Yes. I have two questions. Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, it's clear.
Actually, I have two questions. The first question is on the based on the answer that he gave earlier about HANA on ECC. I've been reading HANA materials and lately on my own, and what I understand from that is none of the place I read that the HANA database will be all the application packages will be mounted on top of HANA. What they say is we will use SLT. It captures the transaction like a DB trigger, and then it sends it to SLT, which loads data into HANA in memory. So is it like a SAP's direction, strategic direction to allow customers to sit on top of the whole application, the OLTP transactions directly get into HANA, or it goes to the ECC database itself and it captures the DB trigger and it sends it through the read model, controller model, and write model, and it comes into HANA database. So how does it work? That's my first question. What is the strategic direction on that?
Okay, so the renovation phase that you see here, in the renovation phase, the SLT is already an embedded replicator for HANA. So whenever a customer goes and implement HANA or buys HANA, they will have an SLT embedded. So what does SLT do? SLT does a live replication. It stands for SAP Landscape Transformation. So in the renovation phase, we need to replicate the data set, therefore we will use the SLT, or else we may also use non-SAP replicator using data services. So the strategic approach of what SAP has is to help customers run the OLTP system on the HANA database. So it's application on HANA. It's not HANA on ECC. Right? So it's totally two different terminologies. So it's not HANA on the ECC, but it's ECC on the HANA database. So therefore, you will see in the future the OLTP systems and OLAP systems merged into one HANA, and then providing you EDW, EIM, EPM, and ECM solutions. Right? Does that answer your question?
Okay, thank you. And another question is, yes, definitely. So probably I'm assuming it is a couple of years down the line that is going to happen, because it may not happen immediately. That's what I assume. And my another question is like, just wanted to give a little background about me. Probably we can even talk offline to Kalyan or someone. I am basically, my purpose of this course, taking this course is to after we create the attribute analytical and calculation views, I'm fairly familiar with that. I started to read SAP HANA on my own, and in fact, I even got my certification on HANA. But the point where I'm getting stuck is like, after creating all the views and everything, schema and everything, how do I use it in the real world? Like, for example, I read that we need to create a business layer in IDT, then use it in the VO reports like Crystal reports or Webby. So are you planning to cover all those things in this class, or is it going to be the plain HANA, Enterprise HANA?
Yeah, absolutely. We will be covering that, how to consume those attribute analytic calculation views, those data models over the BOBJ reporting. So it's not always mandatory to use an IDT universe to consume HANA data models. We can directly use a simple Microsoft Excel. So if I have an Excel and then I want to connect to HANA and then run those data models and then give me the results, say show me the top 5 customers, top 10 products for the region of ABC in the month of March, and these distribution channels. So I can use a simple Excel, I can use other advanced BOBJ tools, I can use other non-SAP tools to run those reports. So we will cover that as a practical session in the reporting topic.
Thank you. That's great.
Next question from Kishore.
Hey, Param.
Kishore Mainani.
Hey, yes. I'm already working as a master data lead and architect, SAP master data lead and architect. So is HANA going to be other jobs that have a combination of requirement of both master data migration and HANA? I just want to make sure that me learning HANA would be an added skill set. So can you give an overview of, for SAP consultant, what kind of jobs are offered for HANA? If HANA is added as an additional skill.
Okay, so I already have a notepad prepared and created, but I will share it in the training. But this is just an outline on the different profile roles that you will you can use it. Say if you are already in SAP, so you can say an SAP package solution consultant, for example. Okay? Because maybe you're an SAP MM or SAP SD or SAP BW or SAP EP or any SAP module consultant, so you can refer as a package solution consultant. So SAP module plus HANA. Now, if you're from a non-SAP, then we can go into the SAP HANA application consultant. This is to start into HANA, right? So first one is if you're already an SAP consultant, then you can say I'm a package solution consultant both with SAP module plus HANA. Then if you're an SAP or else if you're a non-SAP, you are now into SAP HANA, then you can project as an application consultant. If you're already from a DBA background or an administration background, that you can say SAP HANA administration consultant. Okay. If you're from a DBA or a basis. If you're from a reporting background, say you are Bob J certified or Bob J reporting, or you're a Crystal reporting consultant, or you're, say, a dashboard designer or a Crystal reports, or say a kind of a Excel MicroStrategy or IBM Cognos reporting consultant. You get trained in HANA. You already have a reporting consultant experience. You can say SAP HANA reporting consultant. Okay. Then, if you're a business analyst, a BA, then you can advance into EBA, Enterprise Business Analyst. If you're already a solution architect of the SAP, then you can become the SAP HANA solution architect. Right. So there are multiple roles that are available. The document is already prepared. That's going to help you show a tabular format on the experience that you have, SAP, non-SAP, and if you learn HANA, what's the next level that you will get in terms of advancing your career. So we will, of course, share that information for career advancement. But for now, this is just the outline. Any other questions?
Yes, gentlemen, this is Chandrasekhar here.
Yep.
Yeah. With respect to BA, I am still not able to visualize what could be a BA's role in the HANA landscape. Okay. You just now mentioned a BA can be claimed as a enterprise business analyst. right?
Right.
That applies more to ECC, but in the HANA landscape, what is that a BA can perform is what my question is.
Right, so Enterprise Business Analyst is not only applicable to ECC. Enterprise BA are applicable on Oracle, other environments also. So when we say we are a HANA EBA, we mean that in terms of the overall solution, right, in terms of a go-to-market strategy, in terms of customer engagements, in terms of a technical engagement, or in terms of the vendor engagement, we are EBA, Enterprise Business Analyst of HANA. Because when we go as a technical system integrator to a customer does not understand HANA, number one. We got to educate the customer in terms of the advantages, in terms of the landscaping, in terms of multiple offerings. So technical consultants, when they talk to customers, so there's a bridge that is connected with the help of the BAs. Now, BAs who are trained in HANA are enterprise HANA BAs who can communicate all of these customer engagements, vendor engagement, go-to-market strategy, sales support, or even subject matter experts.
So essentially, BA or EBA in the HANA landscape is for the pre-sales coordination kind of.
Yeah, so it's a pre-sales and engagement. So internal project auditing engagement, internal project delivery engagement, service area management engagement areas. So the EBAs are kind of our counterparts who come in from a functional or SMEs to help us understand the business function of the customer understanding the technical offerings of HANA.
All right, got it.
Next question in the question box is from Aman. What career advancement for Java? So there is a Java component part of the Eclipse HANA Studio. If you're a Java developer or a VB developer, a .NET developer, or else a SQL developer, or R programming developer, L programming developer, you have certain apps that you can create on top of HANA, right? There are apps that says we can offer the HANA monitoring environment on your iPads or your Android phones. So there are certain advanced areas that I will help you understand for those folks coming in from the programming background.
Any question, Aman? Just unmuted you can ask the question. Okay. Any more questions, guys? Aman, somehow we are unable to unmute you. I think you are using your iPad or something like that. We are unable to unmute you. Williams, you can ask your question. Williams? Williams? Yeah. Guys, any more questions you have? Actually, this is a demo session. That's why we are unmuting you and you are asking the questions. But in the session 1 onwards, once you enroll, we'll give you organizer access. You guys can unmute yourself and ask the questions directly whenever you have any questions during the session. Okay, you guys can unmute yourself and ask the questions during the training sessions. No need to wait until till the end. You can ask in the first minute itself if you have any questions in yesterday's session or same day session questions if you have anything. Yeah. If you have any more questions, you guys can call me. I just type my number in the chat box, 201-478-8484. It's my number. Anytime you can call me, and you can clarify your doubts. And tomorrow onwards, we are commencing the weekday batch. You can find the timelines in your mailbox. You can check it. Okay, and Saturday morning you will be having session 1 for the weekend batch. Okay, and also we have powered the course fee transfer details as well. And also, you guys please add us in the Skype. In the Skype, we have support guys 24/7. They are available. Okay, whenever you have any questions on the documentation and server access, if anything, you guys can ping our support guys. You can take the assistance from them. Our support guys will be available 24/7. Anytime you can call in, you can ping them, or you can call them in the Skype, and you can take the suggestions from them if you have any problems or something like that. Okay, this is my number, 201-478-8484. If you have any questions, you can call me anytime. Yes, Sridhar, you have a question, I believe. You can ask. Sridhar Bhupati.
Yeah, so quick question. Like, if I have to have access to the servers, what should I have? Like, is there any minimum configuration that I require on my PC? Or
no, actually, like, we will give you remote desktop connection, just like Param has logged into the system. It hardly take 4 to 5 seconds to get into the system. You don't need to install anything in your laptop. You just required an internet connection. Wherever you are, you just get into using the RDC. You can get connected to the servers. 24/7. And also the server access, we will give you initially 1 month server access to all the participants. And also it can be extendable to 1 more month as well. And also, whenever you are going for the certification test, if you guys can let us know, so that we will give you 2 more weeks server access once again, so that you can practice it, and also you guys can attend last 3 to 4 sessions in the coming batches also for the revision sake when you are going for the certification test.
Okay, thanks, Kalyan.
Any more question, guys? There are so many people, almost more than 30 people are in the demo, so that's why we are using, we are unmuting and you are asking the questions. But the daily session 1 onwards, who enrolled with us, we give the organizer access. You guys can unmute yourself and ask the questions. Any questions, guys? William, Sayatya, Ajay, Anna, Chandrasekhar, Charles, Deepa, Aman, Harish Reddy, Hari, Hemant, Kalyan, Kishore, Mahesh, Malik, Mike, Preeti, Rajendra, Rico, Sridhar, Taha, Vamshi, Venkat. Okay. Yeah, thank you very much, guys. Please note down my number, 201-478-8484. So if you have any questions, you may call me anytime. Okay. We have already powered the course fee transfer details. You can enroll by using those details and all. Okay, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Param. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. See you again soon. Bye-bye.
The organizer